You're watching UnrealEntGaming. This is Gohan from Dragon Ball Z. You want to see me turn Super Saiyan? Or should I take it to the next level? I'm also the narrator, too. Next time on Dragon Ball Z, make sure and smash subscribe to UnrealEntGaming.
Now, just when you guys thought it was over, Super Dragon Ball Heroes is back, and it returned with a brand new Super Dragon Ball Heroes special episode entitled Dark King vs. Time Patrol, Mechikabura vs. Super Saiyan 4 Xeno Vegito, and Super Saiyan God Future Trunks, which basically sets up for the narrative of what's going to go down in the Super Dragon Ball Heroes Big Bang mission, which of course is going to be premiering next month in March. And this is what's most interesting about this special episode, is the fact that we had the opportunity to not only see Xeno Vegito in action, Super Saiyan God Trunks in action, Mechikabura in action, but also we had a little bit of a glimpse as to the birth and the origins of Fu and where he came from, and essentially his transition in becoming who he was in what we saw in Super Dragon Ball Heroes. And right now, we are going to be further diving in depth to gain a better understanding as to what is to be expected for the future of Super Dragon Ball Heroes. As once again, if of course you guys are new to this channel, then I do encourage you guys to smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to never miss a single upload on this channel, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up by slapping that like button down below if you guys are simply stoked, ready, and excited to get more Dragon Ball content in the foreseeable future. Now, from the beginning, what was most interesting about this is seeing the fact that Mechikabura, who is supposed to be at his peak, was shown battling against Xeno Super Saiyan 4 Vegito and Xeno Super Saiyan God Trunks, and from the get-go, it would appear that Mechikabura's aura was very similar to that of Cumber's in a way, because it had somewhat of an effect on his own body, because Mechikabura is someone that we really don't know too much about, in the fact that if of course you've been keeping up with the Heroes manga and the Heroes video game adaptation, then you would more or less know exactly who Mechikabura is, in being the god of the demons. And seeing how Xeno Vegito fought against them in the beginning, I think was very cool, because we didn't really get much from Xeno Vegito against Cumber, and even then I wouldn't say that we got the best out of Xeno Super Saiyan 4 Vegito here. But either way, as soon as Mechikabura began to increase in power and let his aura flare, Xeno Vegito and God Trunks were really trying to do their best to stop him, and essentially it didn't really work until Xeno Trunks went in with his sword and he was able to cut through the aura, which gave Xeno Vegito the opening he needed to fire this massive attack at Mechikabura. Now, the thing about Mechikabura is he is a Super Dragon Ball Heroes exclusive, unless of course they want to tie him in one day into Super. That would be a great addition, because Mechikabura is a lot more powerful than you guys think, and he basically oversees the demon realm. He basically oversees, you know, all of the demon gods, Corona, Toa, Mira, stuff like that, right? He's supposed to be like the demigod for that. So as soon as we got to see Xeno Vegito fire this Kamehameha down at Mechikabura, Mechikabura basically took this head on until Xeno Vegito came in there and he was able to throw hands with this dude and really give him a solid beatdown. So they didn't really make Xeno Vegito feel inferior, because for the first time I would argue and say that they kind of allowed the Vegito fusion to feel superior in some way, because Mechikabura actually tried bringing the fight to Vegito, but Vegito was very cognitive. He was very aware of his surroundings, and I'm not entirely sure as to when or where this fight took place, because I wanted to say that it felt like the demon realm, but either way, it didn't really look like it to an extent. But Mechikabura in this episode, I think, was solid. He had a decent performance in the beginning, because he was able to deliver some really good shots to Vegito that ended up sending him flying backwards and kind of making him struggle a bit during the course of combat. But by the end, Xeno Vegito just felt like an absolute monster, because every single time Mechikabura went on the attack, Vegito blocked. Every single time that Mechikabura fought Vegito one-on-one, Trunks would come in and he would actually try to slash this dude apart. So by the middle portion of this episode, as soon as Mechikabura went down, the Supreme Kai of Time actually shot out a beam of light that transformed Trunks' sword into like this giant Excalibur-like saber. It was crazy, and because of this massive sword, Trunks was actually able to raise his energy up enough to charge right in there and do what Xeno, Vegito, and nobody else was able to do, and merge Zamasu this dude. And what I mean by that is he ended up splitting, but not splitting to the point where like his body was falling apart, but instead his body was emanating this weird energy, this weird aura that was coming out of him, this bluish purplish like energy. So it was really weird at first, and it kind of got me thinking, how in the world did Xeno Super Saiyan God Trunks just one-shot this dude? Like, the power scaling for this and the overall narrative and direction for this just doesn't make any sense, because if that were to be the case and Trunks was able to do what he did to Mechikabura in this promotional little episode so easily that nobody else was able to do for quite some time, then that would place Trunks so high above on the totem pole in terms of power that it's just crazy and it's asinine. So it was Trunks that resulted in defeating yet another villain, and he did it with such ease that it really felt forced, because although this is supposed to be the Time Patrollers and this is supposed to be Trunks' story or narrative, tagging with the Supreme Kai of Time and trying to track all of these demons and all of the bad guys down, at the same time, it just didn't feel right in the fact that Mechikabura went out in this massive explosion that literally took everything. And what was most interesting about this was also seeing how the Toki Toki bird basically also kind of evolved in this, because the Toki Toki bird actually grew in size, and this thing was actually able to shoot down these attacks directly down below, which basically destroyed the pillar that Mechikabura was in, the throne room, all that stuff, like the castle. It reminded me of Darth Vader's castle from Mustafar in Star Wars, because as this was happening, the light that was emanating, that was holding this whole thing together, was destroyed. So the Toki Toki bird destroyed whatever was left of Mechikabura's palace or Mechikabura's domain, and that was completely incinerated by the end, which, keep in mind, Xeno Vegito softened up Mechikabura for Trunks to come in and basically put him down. Xeno Gohan and Xeno Pan and Xeno Goten did absolutely nothing, so it kind of makes you wonder, why the hell were they a part of this episode, right? The Toki Toki bird did something, the Supreme Kai of Time did something, Xeno Vegito did something, Mechikabura popped off, Xeno Trunks did something, but not Gohan and not Goten. All they did was just simply stand around and were useless, so that was pretty much a waste. But as soon as the Toki Toki bird ended up destroying everything, by the end, we get to see how our heroes are standing together. Xeno Vegito gives props and praise to Xeno Trunks, and then we get to see how Goku and Vegeta separate. They go back to their singular Xeno forms. But then what's most interesting about all of this is the fact that the Supreme Kai of Time basically acknowledges the fact that she really hopes that this is the end and Mechikabura is over and done with. But however, towards the very end of this episode, we have a small glimpse of Mira and Toa, who also seem to be in the demon realm or in an unknown location, and they seem to be carrying a child. Right now, this child is none other than Fu. So as we observe how Mira and Toa are about to basically give up everything to save this kid, they want to reinsure that this kid carries on their legacy, that this kid basically becomes what they were not able to become themselves. And as soon as Toa lets go and this child Fu is shown just floating in the air, what's most interesting is right when the Toki Toki bird incinerated the palace and incinerated, all of Mechikabura's belongings, including Mira and Toa, which by the end to me gave me Jiren and Bardock vibes, we observe how Fu takes this message to heart, and as he begins to grow up, we see how a young teenage Fu is just standing near a cliffside, and he seems to be up to no good. And that's when the episode comes to a close, and then we have a little preview as to what is to come for the Big Bang mission, involving the role of the Gods of Destruction having to come to Earth and battle our heroes. So that's what happened in this episode, and to me, it really wasn't much. I really hate the fact that these episodes just feel so damn short, because there's no substance to them, and the overall narrative of the characters, even though this is supposed to be a promotional anime for a video game, the anime itself just doesn't add up in terms of scaling, in terms of fluidity, in terms of consistency. I like the concept of God Trunks and Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, but at the end, it just didn't feel right, just knowing the fact that Mechikabura was supposed to be this insanely powerful character in Heroes, and he was just bested by Trunks yet again, who did the exact same thing he did to merge Zamasu, and that's use the sword to basically get him the victory. So this episode was pretty much meh. It was bland. It was the conclusion of the Dark Demon King arc, I guess, from the game as we head into the Big Bang mission. So if you guys saw the episode, I would like to get your thoughts in the comment section below about what you guys thought, if you guys believe that this was something that was logical, if you guys want to see more of this, because the first episode, I think we are going to be getting BEERUS versus Goku, which is going to be crazy because the gods of destruction are actually the enemies this time. So it's going to be very interesting to see, but I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, then be sure to give this video a big thumbs up by slapping that like button down below. Tune back in for the next video, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Take it easy, guys. Peace. And a quick little reminder before you guys go, if you guys are unaware, I do have a second gaming channel located down in the description box below, so be sure to head on over to Unreal Royale and hit that subscribe button along with turning on all notifications, as to there, you guys will find all different kinds of gaming content that you will not get to find on UnrealEntGaming, titles and video games such as Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, Gears of War, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, Dragon Ball Z Legends, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, Minecraft, Blair Witch, and many other retro games on that channel. So if you guys are into gaming, then make sure you guys subscribe over on Unreal Royale. I want to thank you all so much for your time, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
This is the Galactic Emperor of the Universe, and of course I'm here to tell you to subscribe to UnrealEntGaming.
Also follow UnrealEntGaming on these social media platforms to stay connected at all times. And if you don't, then very soon you will all be dead! Oh, did someone say UnrealEntGaming? Oh my god.
The fuck, Zarbon? Put on some clothes!
Well, why don't you put on any clothes?
What? I don't need clothes. Jesus Christ, that's huge! What, Broly?
Freezer.
Uh-oh.
Prepare to die!
But once you get video, lots of likes, or Bill will turn you into chocolate!
Vados, get over here! Tell these mortals that I'm the biggest UnrealEntGaming fan. This is my moment. I'm a part of his notification squad. Universe 7 can have all the fun. I just want the food.
And don't forget to leave a comment on this video. Show some love for the best community on YouTube.
Kakarot!